yesterday, Kingsman.
Don't know if I fuck more bitches and snap more dudes. Don't need no bodyguards, I got a whole rifle crew. Late night snipes, it's both of us, just two. I'ma go snipe the whole world, bitch, but I never snipe you. I never snipe you, nah, I never snipe you. And I sing about you and the sound of the sniper booms. Exposed to build, and I can't straight out a fucking cartoon. I'ma go snipe the whole world, bitch, but I never snipe you. Remember when you first came over and I saw you my rifle. I ain't never learned how to kill, I never read through my Bible. I tell my brother to shoot, yeah, he my sniper disciple. Posted straight up in the tree, scope locked in on the rivals. Scope locked in on your heart, you know I can never go sniping. It break me if we were apart, there's so much between us, I snipe it. I go to my browser and wipe it, cause I 3D printed a gun. And if you try fuck with your sniper, we go to his block and the shit get it spun. Don't know if I fuck more bitches and snap more dudes. Don't need no bodyguard, cause I got a whole rifle crew. Late night snipes, it's both of us, just two. I'ma go snipe the whole world, bitch, but I never snipe you. I never snipe you, nah, I never snipe you. And I sing about you and the sound of the sniper booms. Exposed to build, and I can't straight out a fucking cartoon. I'ma go snipe the whole world, bitch, but I never snipe you. One day I just decided I was done with it. Living my ordinary life as a rapper when what I really wanted to be was a sniper. I took the first step and got myself a trusty sniper rifle.
Walk me out in the morning dew today. Can't walk you out in the morning dew, my honey. I can't walk you out in the morning dew today. I thought I heard a baby cry this morning. I thought I heard a baby cry today. You didn't hear no baby cry this morning. light today. Where have all the people gone, my honey? Where have all the people gone today? Well, there's no need for you to be worrying about all those people. You never see those people anyway. I thought I heard a young man mourn this morning. I thought I heard a young man mourn today. A young man on this morning. I can walk out in the morning dew today. Walk me up in the morning dew, my honey. Walk me up in the morning dew today. I walk out in the morning dew, my honey. I saw a light coming over the horizon. I saw a light coming over the horizon. I saw the truth. It was clear as day. I saw
clear as day. And I never seen beauty like bodies spent in the moonlight. I've never seen beauty like bodies spent in the moonlight. But I had no song, I had no song, so I borrowed an old one. I had no song, so I borrowed an old one. Cool down your pace. You gotta cool down some way. Slow down your pace. I'll be cool. Don't play. You know I can wait.
Porcelain windows at both ends, rope man swinging axe in the abyss of sunlight, twilight dreams in an obscene dimension of leather heels and cigarettes, white Porsche in a Las Vegas motel, looking through the pink glass over the black mountains while goats run free and bats hang upside down in the chandeliers. Alright, sorry, let me do it again. Black finished roses, circling white roses, forming a cross in this untamed, ravishing yard. Not any cross, but a cross of hate, a cross of shattered dreams and innocent tomorrows that never came. Black finished liquor swirls around his goblet as the fat one dines in his hall with the fascists of Europe. The night was becoming morning, and the smell of wet grass and burnt cigarettes took upon them as they marched out for the yearly hunt. Under your wings, under your wings, under your wings, under your wings. There's a lonely desire, you saw my fire, trapped with rest and the spider. I don't wanna fall.
Batman demanding make a move I can't do. There wasn't a thing that you could do. I put my foot down. Stand my ground. I say, listen, if you are here. You say, listen, I'm not me. It's a dream. There wasn't a thing that you could do.
There I go again, falling in love again. I knew better just like before, but here I go. 'Cause that's when you came to me and saved my life, girl. I was just a boy, and when I knew you dared to be there, well, I thought with you, I swear it feels just like heaven. It feels like heaven. Been down that road before. Every signpost that I ignored. Gotta make it work out some way. Here I go. I'll be a dreamboat lover and roll the dice, go China paradise. It's a love that we can fantasize. Without you, I swear it wouldn't feel like heaven. Feels like heaven. I'll be a dreamboat lover and roll the dice, go China paradise. We can't allow it and we can fantasize. Without you, I swear it wouldn't feel like heaven. Feels like
It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. That makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. And it's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and the ink stains that are dried upon some line. That keeps you in the back roads by the rivers of my memory. It keeps you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy planted on their columns now that bind me, or something that somebody said because they thought we fit together walking. It's just knowing that the world will not be cursing or forgiving when I walk along some railroad track and find that you're moving on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, and for hours you're just gentle on my mind. Though the wheat fields and the clotheslines and the junkyards and the highways come between us, and some other woman's crying to her mother 'cause she turned and I was gone, I still might run in silence, tears of joy might stain my face, and a summer sun might burn me till I'm blind. But not to where I cannot see you walking on the back roads by the rivers flowing gentle on my mind. I dip my cup of soup back from a gurgling, crackling cauldron in some train yard. My beard a roughening coal pile and a dirty hat pulled low across my face. Through cupped hands round the tin can, I pretend to hold you to my breast and find that you're waiting from the back roads by the rivers of my memories, ever smiling, ever gentle on my mind.
I was broke, pocket full of lead. Now I'm on the bricks, getting paid like no other dog. Now I'm stacking chips on the road like a trucker, man. Had to take some trips, doing shows for my brothers, but strapped with extra clips, just in case any sucker would wanna run his lips. A female, I don't trust a car, swimming like the trips. I stay all by my Getty, green hell with some time. Did some crimes that was petty, seen still getting mine. All this hate I'm hearing though, I ain't fearing. Better try to be growing old, man. With your cheering, escalate what a nigga steering. Last days nearing, trying to get it right with God. Only one who I'm fearing, hoping I'ma make it, keep it real. Never do I fake it, chances for a nigga to get paid, so I take it, living like a player should. Wishing that you could, knowing it's all to the good. Still down with the hood.
This life we live, oh so beautiful, oh it's so beautiful, oh it's so beautiful, oh it's so. This life we live, oh so beautiful, oh it's so beautiful, oh it's so beautiful, oh it's so beautiful.
Last year my cousin took a fall, a sad song. Seemed like we was just on the phone. Now he gone. People used to try to judge him, say he was wrong, but you can't try to judge a man. You do you wrong, smoking out on a daily basis. I'm in the clouds, drinking liquor, falling on my face, wondering how I survived all this foolishness. Off in the street, riding dirty, I ain't new to this. I'm packing heat, but the streets very hazardous to niggas' health. Watch your step, you ain't Lazarus, you meet your death. I'm the man from the north side of the town, but the real do support me and keep a frown. Staying down, got your gold grills, drove in the air, barbecue on the grill, something cool for a player. When I ride